Welcome to Torah Truth for Us with Linda.
The steadfast love of Yehovah never ceases. His mercies never come to an end. They are new every morning, new every morning. Great is thy faithfulness, O Yah. Great is thy faithfulness. This book of the law shall not depart from your mouth, but you shall meditate on it day and night, so that you may be careful to do according to all that is written in it. For then you will make your way prosperous, and then you will have good success. They are new every morning, new every morning. Great is thy faithfulness, O Yah. Great is thy faithfulness. Yehovah is my portion, says my soul. Therefore I have hope in him. Yehovah is good to those who wait for him, to the person who seeks him. Great is thy faithfulness.
The Book of Exodus, Shemot. Exodus, chapters 1, verse 1 through 6, verse 1. Vayikra. And he called to Moses to draw near. And Jehovah spoke to him from the tabernacle of meeting, saying, Speak to the sons of Israel, and say to them, When any one of you brings an offering to Jehovah, you shall bring your offering of livestock, of the herd, and of the flock. If his offering is a burnt offering, let him offer a male of the herd without blemish. He shall offer it at the door of the tabernacle of his own free will, before Jehovah. And he shall put his hand on the head of the burnt offering, and it will be accepted on his behalf to make atonement for him. And he shall slaughter the young bull before Jehovah, and the priests, sons of Aaron, shall bring the blood and sprinkle the blood all around on the altar that is by the door of the tabernacle of the meeting. And he shall skin the burnt offering and cut it into pieces. And the sons of Aaron, the priest, shall put fire on the altar and lay the wood in order on the fire. And Aaron's sons, the priests, shall arrange the parts of the head and the fat on the wood that is on the fire that is on the altar. But its entrails and its legs he shall wash with water, and the priest shall burn all on the altar as a burnt sacrifice, an offering made by fire, a sweet aroma to Jehovah. And if his offering is of the flocks, of the sheep, or of the goats, he shall bring a male without blemish as a burnt sacrifice, and he shall slaughter it on the north side of the altar before Jehovah. And Aaron's sons, the priests, shall sprinkle its blood all around on the altar. He shall then cut it into pieces with its head and its suet, and the priest shall arrange them on the wood which is on the fire that is on the altar. The entrails, however, and the legs he shall wash with water. And the priest shall offer all of it, and offer it up in smoke on the altar. It is a burnt offering, an offering by fire, a soothing aroma to Jehovah. And if his offering to Jehovah is a burnt offering of birds, then he shall bring his offering from the turtle doves or from young doves. And the priest shall bring it to the altar, and wring off its neck, and burn it on the altar. And its blood shall be drained out at the side of the altar. And he shall remove its crops with its feathers, and throw it beside the altar eastward, to the place of the fatty ashes. And he shall tear it by its wings, but shall not sever it. And the priest shall offer it up in smoke on the altar, on the wood which is on the fire. It is a burnt offering, an offering by fire of a soothing aroma to YHWH. And when anyone offers a grain offering to YHWH, his offering shall be of fine flour, and he shall pour oil on it, and put frankincense on it, and he shall bring it to the priests, sons of Aaron, and one of whom shall take his handful of fine flour from it, and oil, and all the frankincense, and the priest shall burn it as a memorial on the altar, an offering made by fire, a sweet aroma to YHWH. And the rest of the grain offering shall be for Aaron and his sons. It is most holy of the offerings made by fire to YHWH. And if you bring a grain offering baked in the oven, cakes of fine flour, as an offering, it shall be unleavened, mixed with oil, or unleavened wafers anointed with oil. But if a grain offering is baked in a pan as your offering, it shall be of fine flour mixed with oil. It shall be unleavened. You shall break it in pieces and pour oil on it. It is a grain offering. And if a grain offering is baked in a covered pan, your offering shall be made of fine flour with oil. And you shall bring the grain offering that is made of these things to YHWH. And when it is presented to the priest, he shall bring it to the altar. And the priest shall take from the grain offering a memorial portion, and burn it on the altar. It is an offering made by fire, a sweet aroma to YHWH. And what is left shall be a grain offering of Aaron and his sons. It is most holy of the offerings made by fire to YHWH. Any grain offering which you bring to YHWH shall not be made with leaven, for all leaven nor any honey shall you burn as an offering made by fire to YHWH. As for the offering of the first fruits, Bereshit, you shall offer them to YHWH, but they shall not be burned on the altar for a sweet aroma. And every offering of a grain offering shall be seasoned with salt. So the salt of the covenant of your God shall not be lacking from your grain offering. With all your offerings you shall offer salt. And if you offer a grain offering of your first fruits, Bikurim, to YHWH, you shall, for the grain offering of your first fruits, Abib, roast it on the fire, beaten from full heads, and you shall put oil on it, and lay frankincense on it. It is a grain offering. And the priest shall burn the memorial portion of its beaten grain and of its oil with all the frankincense as an offering made by fire to YHWH. And when his offering is a sacrifice of a shalom offering, if he offers it of the herd, whether male or female, he shall offer it without blemish before YHWH. And he shall lay his hand on the head of his offering, and slaughter it at the door of the tabernacle of the meeting. And the priests, sons of Aaron, shall sprinkle the blood on all around the altar. And he shall offer the sacrifice of the peace offering as an offering made by fire to YHWH. The fat that covers, all the entrails and all the fat that is on the entrails, and the two kidneys and the fat that is on them, that is by the flanks, and the fatty lobe attached to the liver above the kidneys, he shall remove. And the sons of Aaron shall burn it upon the altar, the burnt offering which is on the wood that is on the fire. It is an offering by fire as a soothing aroma to YHWH. And if his offering for a sacrifice of shalom offerings to Yehovah is from the flock, he shall offer it male or female without defect. If he is going to offer a lamb for his offering, he shall offer it before Yehovah, and he shall lay his hand on the head of his offering, and slaughter it in the front of the tent of meeting, and Aaron's sons shall sprinkle its blood all around on the altar. From the sacrifice of the shalom offerings, he shall then bring as an offering by the fire to Yehovah its fat, the entire fat tail, which he shall remove close to the backbone, the fat that covers the entrails, and all the fat that is on the entrails, and the 2 kidneys with the fat that is on them, which is on the loins, and the lobe of the liver, which he shall remove. And the priest shall offer it up in smoke on the altar as food, an offering by fire to Yehovah. And if his offering is a goat, then he shall offer it before Yehovah, and he shall lay his hand on its head, and slaughter it in the front of the tent of meeting, and the sons of Aaron shall sprinkle its blood around on the altar. From it he shall present his offering as an offering by fire to Yehovah, the fat that covers the entrails, and all the fat that is on the entrails, and the 2 kidneys with the fat that is on them, with it on the loins, and the lobe of the liver, which he shall remove with the kidneys. The priest shall offer them up in smoke on the altar as food, an offering by fire as a soothing aroma. All fat is Yehovah's. It is a permanent statute throughout your generations in your dwelling places. You shall not eat of the fat or any blood. And Yehovah spoke to Moshe, saying, Speak to the sons of Israel, saying, If a person sins unintentionally against any of the commandments of Yehovah, which ought not to be done, and does one of them, if the anointed priest sins, so as to bring guilt on the people, then he is to offer to Yehovah a bull without defect as a sin offering for his sin which he has committed. He shall bring the bull to the doorway of the tent of meeting before Yehovah, and he shall lay his hand on the head of the bull and slaughter the bull before Yehovah. And the anointed priest is to take some of the blood of the bull and bring it to the tabernacle of meeting, and the priest shall dip his finger in the blood and sprinkle some of the blood 7 times before Yehovah in front of the veil of the sanctuary. And the priest shall also put some of the blood on the horns of the altar of fragrant incense, which is before Yehovah in the tent of meeting. And all the rest of the blood of the bull he shall pour out at the base of the altar of burnt offering, which is at the doorway of the tabernacle of meeting. And he shall remove from it all the fat of the bull of the sin offering, the fat that covers the entrails, and all the fat which is on the entrails, and the 2 kidneys with the fat that is on them, which is on the loins, and the lobe of the liver, which he shall remove with the kidneys, just as it is removed from the ox of the sacrifice of peace offerings. And the priest is to offer them up in smoke on the altar of burnt offering. But the hide of the bull, and all its flesh, along with its head, its legs, its entrails, and its refuse, that is, all the rest of the bull, he is to bring out to a clean place outside the camp, where the fatty ashes are poured out, and burn it on wood with fire where the fatty ashes are poured out. It shall be burned. Now, if all the congregation of Israel sins unintentionally, and the thing is hidden from the eyes of the assembly, and they have done something against one of the commandments of Jehovah which ought not to be done, and are guilty, and when the sin becomes known, which they have committed upon, then the assembly shall offer a young bull for the sin, and bring it before the tabernacle of meeting. And the elders of the congregation shall lay their hands on the head of the bull before Jehovah, and the bull shall be slaughtered before Jehovah. And the anointed priest shall bring some of the blood of the bull to the tabernacle of meeting, The priest shall dip his finger in the blood and sprinkle it 7 times before Jehovah in front of the veil. And he shall put some of the blood on the horns of the altar before Jehovah in the tabernacle of meeting. And all the rest of the blood he shall pour out at the base of the altar of burnt offering, which is at the doorway of the tent of meeting. And he shall remove all its fat from it, and offer it up in smoke on the altar. And he shall also do with the bull just as he did with the bull of the sin offering. He shall do the same with it. And the priest shall make atonement for them, and they will be forgiven. And he is to bring the bull out to a place outside the camp and burn it just as he burned the first bull. It is the sin offering for the assembly. When a ruler has sinned and done something against one of the commandments of Yehovah his El, which should not be done, unintentionally, and is guilty, or if his sin which he committed is made known to him, he shall bring as an offering a kid of the goats, a male without blemish. And he shall lay his hand on the head of the goat, and slaughter it at the place where they slaughtered the burnt offering before Yehovah. It is a sin offering. And the priest is to take some of the blood of the sin offering with his finger, and put it on the horns of the altar of the burnt offering. And the rest of its blood he shall pour out at the base of the altar of the burnt offering. And he shall offer all its fat up in smoke on the altar, as in the case of the fat of the sacrifice of shalom offerings. And the priest shall make atonement for him regarding his sin. He will be forgiven. And if a person of the common people unintentionally sins, by doing something against one of the commandments of Jehovah which ought not to be done, and is guilty, or if his sin which he has committed is made known to him, then he shall bring as an offering a goat, a female, without defect, for his sin which he has committed. And he shall lay his hand on the head of the sin offering, and slaughter the sin offering at the place of the burnt offering. The priest shall then take some of its blood with his finger, and put it on the horns of the altar of the burnt offering. And all the rest of its blood he shall pour out at the base of the altar. And he shall remove all its fat, just as the fat was removed from the sacrifice of shalom offerings. And the priest shall offer it up in smoke on the altar as a soothing aroma to Jehovah. And the priest shall make atonement for him, and he will be forgiven. And if he brings, offering a lamb as his sin offering, he shall bring a female without blemish. And he shall lay his hand on the head of the sin offering, and slaughter it as a sin offering at the place where they slaughter the burnt offering. And the priest shall take some of the blood of the sin offering with his finger, and put it on the horns of the altar of the burnt offerings, and all the remaining blood shall be poured at the base of the altar. And he shall remove all its fat as the fat of the lamb from the sacrifice of the shalom offering is removed. And the priest shall offer it up in smoke on the altar, on the offerings by fire, to Jehovah. And the priest shall make atonement for him regarding his sin which he has committed, and he will be forgiven. And if a person sins after he hears a public order, when he is a witness, whether he has seen or no, if he does not tell, then he will bear his punishment. Or if a person touches any unclean thing, whether a carcass of an unclean animal, or the carcass of unclean cattle, or a carcass of unclean swarming things, though it is hidden from him, and he is unclean, then he will be guilty. Or if he touches human uncleanness, or whatever sort of uncleanness may be with which he becomes unclean, and it is hidden from him, and then he comes to know it, he will be guilty. Or if a person swears thoughtlessly with his lips to do evil or to do good, in whatever matter people speak thoughtlessly with an oath, and it is hidden from him, and then he comes to know, he will be guilty of one of these things. And it shall be when he becomes guilty of one of these things that he shall confess that in which he has sinned, He shall also bring his guilt offering to Jehovah for his sin which he had committed, a female from the flock, a lamb or a goat, as a sin offering. And the priest shall make atonement on his behalf for his sin. But if he cannot afford a lamb, then he shall bring to Jehovah his guilt offering for that in which he has sinned, 2 turtle doves or 2 young doves, one as a sin offering, and the other as a burnt offering. He shall bring them to the priest, who shall first offer that which is the sin offering, and shall pinch off its head at the front of its neck, but he shall not sever it. He shall also sprinkle some of the blood of the sin offering on the side of the altar, while the rest of the blood shall be drained out at the base of the altar. It is a sin offering. But if he is not able to bring 2 turtle doves or 2 pigeons, young, then he who sinned shall bring for his offering a tenth of an ephah of fine flour as a sin offering. He shall not put oil on it, nor shall he put frankincense on it, for it is a sin offering. He shall bring it to the priest, and the priest shall take his handful of it as its memorial portion, and offer up in smoke on the altar with the offerings of Jehovah by fire. It is a sin offering. And the priest shall make atonement for him concerning his sin, which he has committed from one of these, and it will be forgiven him. And the rest shall become the priest's, like the grain offering. And Jehovah spoke to Moshe, saying, if a person sins and commits a trespass, and sins unintentionally in regard to the holy things of Jehovah, then he shall bring as his trespass offering to Jehovah a ram without blemish from the flocks, with your silver valuation in shekels, according to the shekels of the sanctuary, as a trespass offering. And for the harm that he has done in regard to the holy thing, he shall make restitution, and add a fifth to it, and give it to the priest. And the priest shall make atonement for him with the ram of the trespass offering, and it shall be forgiven him. And if a person sins and commits one of these things by the commandments of Jehovah, which are forbidden to be done, and though he does not know it, yet he is guilty, and shall bear his iniquity. And he shall bring a ram without blemish from the flock with your valuation as a trespass offering to the priest. So the priest shall make atonement for him regarding his ignorance in which he has erred, and he did not know, and it shall be forgiven him. It is a trespass offering. Surely he has trespassed against Jehovah. And Jehovah spoke to Moshe, saying, if a person sins and commits a trespass against Jehovah, and by lying to his neighbor about what was delivered to him for safekeeping, or about a pledge, or about a robbery, or if he has extorted from his neighbor, or if he has found a lost thing and lies concerning it, and swears falsely in regard of one of any that a man may do, he sins in them. Then it shall be, because he has sinned and is guilty, that he shall restore what he has stolen, took, or the thing which he has extorted, or that which was delivered to him for safekeeping, or the lost thing which he hath found, or all which he has sworn falsely, and he shall restore its full value, and add a fifth more to it, to whomever it belongs, and give it on the day of his trespass offering. And he shall bring his trespass offering to Jehovah, a ram, without a blemish from the flock, with your valuation as a trespass offering to the priest. And the priest shall make atonement for Jehovah, for him, and it shall be forgiven to him, for one of any that he may have done, in which he trespasses. Tzav. Command. And Jehovah spoke to Moshe, saying, Command Aaron and his sons, saying, This is the law of the burnt offering. The burnt offering shall be on the hearth upon the altar all night until morning, and the fire of the altar shall be kept burning on it. The priest is to put on his linen garment, and he shall put on his linen trousers next to his body, and he shall take up the fatty ashes to which the fire reduces the burnt offering on the altar, and place them beside the altar. And he shall take off his garments, and put on other garments, and carry the fatty ashes outside the camp to a clean place. The fire on the altar shall be kept burning on it. It shall not go out. But the priest shall burn wood on it every morning, and he shall lay out the burnt offering on it, and offer up in smoke the fat portions of the shalom offerings on it. Fire shall be kept burning continually on the altar. It is not to go out. And this is the law of the grain offering. The sons of Aaron shall offer it before Jehovah on the altar, and he shall lift up from it a handful of the fine flour of the grain offering with its oil, and all the incense that is on the grain offering, and he shall offer it up in smoke on the altar, a soothing aroma, as its memorial offering to Jehovah. And Aaron and his sons are to eat what is left of it. It shall be eaten as unleavened cakes in a holy place. They are to eat it in the courtyard of the tabernacle of meeting. It shall not be baked with leaven. I have given it as their share from my offerings by fire. It is most holy, like the sin offering and the guilt offering. Every male among the sons of Aaron may eat it. It is a permanent ordinance throughout their generations from the offerings by fire to Jehovah. Whoever touches them will become consecrated. And Jehovah spoke to Moshe, saying, This is the offering of Aaron and his sons, which they shall offer to Jehovah when in the day he is anointed. A tenth of an ephah of fine flour as a daily grain offering, half of it in the morning and half of it at night. It shall be made with oil in a pan. When it is mixed, you shall bring it in. You shall present the grain offering in baked pieces as a soothing aroma to Jehovah. The anointed priest who will be in his place among his sons shall offer it. By a permanent ordinance it shall be entirely offered up in smoke to Jehovah, and every grain offering of the priest shall be burned entirely. It shall not be eaten. And Jehovah spoke to Moshe, saying, Speak to Aaron and to his sons, saying, This is the law of the sin offering. In the place where the burnt offering is slaughtered, the sin offering shall be slaughtered before Jehovah. It is most holy. The priest who offers it for sin shall eat it, and it shall be eaten in a holy place in the courtyard of the tent of the meeting. Whoever touches its flesh will become consecrated, and when any of its blood spatters on a garment, you shall wash what spattered on it in a holy place. And the earthenware vessel in which it was boiled shall be broken. And if it was boiled in a bronze vessel, then it shall be scoured and rinsed in water. Every male among the priests may eat it. It is most holy. But any sin offering from which any of the blood is brought into the tabernacle of meeting to make atonement in the holy place shall not be eaten. It shall be burned in the fire. And this is the Torah of the trespass offering. It is most holy. In the place where they slaughter the burnt offering, they shall slaughter the trespass offering, and he shall sprinkle its blood all around on the altar. And he shall offer from it all its fat, the fat tail, and the fat that covers the entrails, and the 2 kidneys with the fat that is on them, which is on the loins. And he shall remove the lobe on the liver with the kidneys. The priest shall offer them up in smoke on the altar as an offering by fire to Jehovah. It is a guilt offering. Every male among the priests may eat it. It shall be eaten in a holy place. It is most holy. The guilt offering is like the sin offering. There is one law for them. The priest who makes atonement with it shall have it, and the priest who presents anyone's burnt offering, that priest shall have for himself the hide of the burnt offering which he has presented. And every grain offering that is baked in the oven, and everything prepared in a pan, or on a griddle, shall belong to the priest who presents it. Every grain offering mixed with oil or dry shall belong to all the sons of Aaron, to one as much as to the other. And this is the Torah of the sacrifice of the shalom offering, which he shall offer to Yehovah. If he offers it for a thanksgiving, then he shall offer with the thanksgiving sacrifice unleavened cakes with oil, and unleavened wafers with anointed oil, or of blended flour cakes mixed with oil. Besides the cakes, he shall offer leavened bread as his offering with the sacrifice of thanksgiving of his peace offering. And he shall offer from it one from each offering as a heave offering to Yehovah. It shall belong to the priest who sprinkles the blood of the peace offerings. And the flesh of the sacrifice for thanksgiving of his shalom offering the same day it is offered shall be eaten. He shall not leave any of it until morning. But if a vow or voluntary offering of his sacrifice offering is the same day that he offers his offering, it shall be eaten. But on the second day or next day, the remainder may be eaten. And the remainder of the flesh of the sacrifice on the third day must be burned with fire. And if any of the flesh of the sacrifice of his peace offerings is eaten on the third day, he who offers it will not be accepted, and it will not be credited to him. It will be an unclean thing, and the person whose it is shall bear his punishment. And the flesh that touches anything unclean shall not be eaten. It shall be burned with fire. As for other flesh, anyone who is clean may eat the flesh, but the person who eats the flesh of the sacrifice of peace offerings, which belong to Jehovah, when he is unclean, that person shall be cut off from his people. When anyone touches anything unclean, whether human uncleanness, or an unclean animal, or any unclean detestable thing, and eats of the flesh of the sacrifice of the shalom offerings which belong to Jehovah, that person shall be cut off from his people. And Jehovah spoke to Moshe, saying, Speak to the sons of Israel, saying, You shall not eat any fat of the ox or sheep or goat, and the fat of an animal that dies naturally, and the fat that is torn by wild beasts may be used in any other way, but by no means shall you eat it. For whoever eats of the fat of the animal of which men offer an offering made by fire to Jehovah, that person who eats it shall be cut off from his people. And all the blood of the bird or beast you shall not eat in any of your dwellings. The soul who eats any blood, that person shall be cut off from his people. And Jehovah spoke to Moshe, saying, Speak to the sons of Israel, saying, He who offers the sacrifice of his shalom offering to Jehovah shall bring his offering to Jehovah from the sacrifice of his shalom offering. His own hands shall bring the offerings made by fire to Jehovah. He shall bring the fat with the breast, and the breast may be waved as a wave offering before Jehovah. And the priest shall burn the fat on the altar, but the breast shall be for Aaron and his sons. And you shall give the right thigh as a heave offering to the priest from the sacrifices of your peace offerings. And he among the sons of Aaron who offers the blood of the shalom offerings and the fat of the right thigh shall be his as his portion. For the breast of the wave offering and the thigh of the heave offering, I have taken from the sons of Israel from the sacrifices of their peace offerings, and I have given them to Aaron the priest and to his sons by a statute from the sons of Israel forever. This is the consecrated portion for Aaron and his sons from the offerings made by fire to Jehovah on the day when Moshe presented them to minister as priests to Jehovah. Jehovah commanded this to be given to them on the day that he anointed them by the sons of Israel, a statute forever throughout their generations. This is the Torah of the burnt offering, the grain offering, and the sin offering, and the trespass offering, and the consecrations, and the sacrifice of the shalom offering, which Jehovah commanded Moshe on Mount Sinai on the day when he commanded the sons of Israel to offer their offerings to Jehovah in the wilderness of Sinai. And Jehovah spoke to Moshe, saying, Take Aaron and his sons with him, and the garments, and the anointing oil, and a bowl as the sin offering, and 2 rams, and a basket of unleavened bread, and gather together all the congregation at the door of the tabernacle of meeting. And Moshe did as Jehovah commanded him, and the congregation was gathered together at the door of the tabernacle of the meeting. And Moses said to the congregation, This is the thing Jehovah has commanded to be done. And Moshe brought Aaron and his sons and washed them with water. And he put on him the tunic, and girded him with the sash, and clothed him with the robe, and put on the ephod on him, and girded him with the intricately woven band of the ephod, and tied the ephod on him with it. And he put on him the breastplate, and he put in the breastplate the Urim and the Thummim. And he put the turban on his head, and he put on the turban on its front the golden plate, the holy crown, as Jehovah had commanded Moshe. And Moses took the anointing oil and anointed the tabernacle and all that was in it, and consecrated them. And he sprinkled some of it on the altar 7 times, and anointed the altar and all its utensils and the laver and its base to consecrate them. And he poured some of the anointing oil on the head of Aaron and anointed to consecrate him. And Moses brought the sons of Aaron and put tunics on them, and girded them with sashes, and put hats on them as Jehovah had commanded him. And he brought the bowl of the sin offering, and Aaron and his sons laid their hands on the head of the bowl for the sin offering, and slaughtered it. And Moses took the blood, and put some on all around the horns of the altar, and with his finger, and purified the altar. And he poured the blood at the base of the altar, and consecrated to make atonement for it. And he took all the fat that was on the entrails, and the fatty lobe of the liver, and the 2 kidneys with their fat, and Moses burned them on the altar. But the bull and its hide and its flesh and its offal he burned with fire outside the camp, as Jehovah had commanded Moses. And he brought the ram as a burnt offering, and Aaron and his sons laid their hands on the head of the ram, and slaughtered it. And Moses sprinkled the blood all around on the altar. And he cut the ram into pieces, and Moses burnt the head, and the pieces, and the fat, and the entrails. And the legs he washed in water, and Moses burned the whole ram on the altar, a burnt sacrifice as a sweet aroma, an offering made by fire to Jehovah, as Jehovah had commanded Moses. And he brought the second ram, the ram of the consecration, and Aaron and his sons laid their hands on the head of the ram, and slaughtered it. And he took some of its blood, and Moses put it on the tip of his right ear of Aaron, and on the thumb of his right hand, and on the big toe of his right foot. And he brought Aaron's sons. Moses put some of the blood on the tips of their right ears, and on the thumbs of their right hands, and on the big toes of their right feet. And Moses sprinkled the blood on all around the altar. And he took the fat and the fatty tail, and all the fat that was on the entrails, and the fatty lobe of the liver, and the 2 kidneys, and their fat, and the right thigh. And from the basket of unleavened bread that was before Jehovah, he took 1 unleavened cake, and a cake of bread of oil, and 1 wafer, and put them on the fat, and on the right thigh. And he put all in the hands of Aaron and his sons' hands, and waved them as a wave offering before Jehovah. And Moses took them from their hands, and burned them on the altar, a burnt offering. They were consecration offerings for a sweet aroma, an offering made by fire to Jehovah. And Moses took the breast of the ram of the consecration, and waved it as a wave offering before Jehovah. It was Moses' portion, as Jehovah had commanded Moses. And Moses took some of the anointing oil and some of the blood that was on the altar, and sprinkled it on Aaron, and on his garments, and on his sons, and on the garments of his sons with him. And he consecrated Aaron, his garments, and his sons, and the garments of his sons with him. And Moshe said to Aaron and his sons, boil the flesh at the door of the tabernacle of meeting, and there eat it, and with the bread that is in the basket of consecration offerings, as I commanded, saying, Aaron and his sons shall eat it. And the remainder of the flesh and of the bread you shall burn with fire. And outside the door of the tabernacle of the meeting you shall not go for 7 days, until the days of your consecration are ended. For 7 days he shall consecrate you. Jehovah has commanded us to do as has been done this day, to make atonement on your behalf. And you shall remain day and night for 7 days at the doorway of the tabernacle of meeting, and fulfill your duty to Jehovah, so that you will not die. For so I have been commanded. Aaron and his sons did all the things which Jehovah had commanded through Moshe. And it came to pass on the 8th day, by Yom HaShemini, that Moses called Aaron and his sons and the elders of Israel. And he said to Aaron, take for yourself a bull, a young son, as a sin offering, and a ram as burnt offering without blemish, and offer them before Jehovah. And to the sons of Israel you shall speak, saying, take a kid of the goats as a sin offering, and a calf and lamb both of the first year without blemish, as a burnt offering, and a bull and a ram as peace offerings to sacrifice before Jehovah, and a grain offering mixed with oil. For today Jehovah will appear to you. And they brought before the tabernacle of meeting what Moses commanded, and all the congregation drew near and stood before Jehovah. And Moses said, this is the thing which Jehovah commanded, which you do, and the glory of Jehovah will appear to you. And Moses said to Aaron, go to the altar and offer your sin offering and your burnt offering, and make atonement for yourself, for the people, and offer the offering of the people, and make atonement for them, as Jehovah commanded. And Aaron came near to the altar, and slaughtered the calf of the sin offering that was for himself. And the sons of Aaron brought the blood to him, and he dipped his finger in the blood, and he put it on the horns of the altar, and poured the blood at the base of the altar. But the fat and the kidneys and the fatty lobe from the liver of the sin offering he burned on the altar as Jehovah had commanded Moses. and the flesh and the hide he burned with fire outside the camp. And he slaughtered the burnt offering. The sons of Aaron presented the blood to him, which he sprinkled all around the altar. And they presented the burnt offering to him with its pieces and head, and he burned them on the altar. And he washed the entrails and the legs, and burned them with the burnt offering on the altar. And he brought the offering of the people, and took the goat that was the sin offering for the people, and killed it, and offered it for sin, like the first one. And he brought the burnt offering, and offered it, according to the prescribed manner. And he brought the grain offering, and a handful of it, and burnt it on the altar, besides the burnt sacrifice of the morning. And he slaughtered the bull and the ram sacrifices of peace offerings that were for the people. And the sons of Aaron presented the blood to him, which he sprinkled all around the altar, and the fat from the bull and the ram, the fatty tail, and what covers the entrails and the kidneys, and the fatty lobe attached to the liver, and the fat on the breasts. They put fat on the altar, and he burned it. But the breast and the right thigh Aaron waved as a wave offering before Jehovah, as Moses had commanded. And Aaron lifted his hand toward the people and blessed them, and stepped down after offering the sin offering, the burnt offering, and the peace offerings. And Moses and Aaron entered into the tabernacle of meeting, and came out and blessed the people. And the glory of Jehovah appeared to all the people. And fire came out from Jehovah and consumed the burnt offering and the fat on the altar. And when all the people saw it, they shouted and fell on their faces. And Abihu and Nadab, the sons of Aaron, each took his censer and put fire in it, and then placed incense on the fire, and offered strange fire before Jehovah, which he had not commanded them. And the fire went out from Jehovah and devoured them, and they died before Jehovah. And Moses said to Aaron, "That is what Jehovah spoke, saying, I must be regarded as holy by those who come near me, and before all the people I must be glorified." And Aaron kept silent. And Moses called Mishael and Elzaphan, the sons of Uzziel, the uncle of Aaron, and said to them, "Come near, carry your brothers from before the sanctuary of the camp." And they went near and carried them by their tunics out of the camp, as Moses had said. And Moses said to Aaron and to Eleazar and Ithamar his sons, "Do not uncover your heads, nor tear your clothes, lest you die, and wrath come upon all the people. But let your brothers of the whole house of Israel bewail the burning which Jehovah has kindled. And you shall not go out from the door of the tabernacle of meeting, lest you die. For the anointing oil of Jehovah is upon you." And they did according to the word of Moses. And Jehovah spoke to Aaron, saying, "Do not drink wine or intoxicating drink, you nor your sons with you, when you go into the tabernacle of meeting, lest you die. A statute throughout your generations forever, that you may distinguish between holy and unholy, and between unclean and clean, that you may teach the sons of Israel all the statutes which Jehovah has spoken to them by the hand of Moses." And Moses spoke to Aaron and to Eleazar and Ithamar, his sons who were left, "Take the grain offering that remains of the offerings made by fire to Jehovah, and eat it without leaven beside the altar, for it is most holy. And you shall eat it in a holy place, because it is your due and your sons' due. It is of the offerings made by fire to Jehovah, for so I have been commanded." And the breast of the wave offering, and the thigh of the heave offering, you shall eat in a clean place, you and your sons and your daughters with you. For they are your due and your sons' due, which are given from the sacrifices of the peace offerings of the sons of Israel. The thigh of the heave offering, and the breast of the wave offering, with the offerings of fat made by the offering by fire, they shall bring to offer as a wave offering before YHWH, and it shall be yours and your sons with you by a statute forever, as YHWH commanded. And then Moses made careful inquiry about the goat of the sin offering, and behold, it was burned up. And he was angry with Eleazar and Ithamar, the sons of Aaron, who were left, saying, Why have you not eaten the sin offering in a holy place, since it is most holy, and it has been given to you to bear the guilt of the congregation to make atonement for them before YHWH? See, its blood was not brought inside the holy place, and indeed you should have eaten it at a holy place, as I commanded. And Aaron said to Moses, Look, they have offered this day their sin offering and their burnt offerings before YHWH. And as these things have befallen me, had I eaten the sin offering today, would it have been accepted in the sight of YHWH? And when Moses heard, it was good in his sight. And YHWH spoke to Moses and Aaron, saying to them, Speak to the sons of Israel, saying, This is the living which you may eat among all the animals, beasts, and cattle that are on the earth, all that the hoof and have cloven cleft hooves, chewing the cud, among the beasts, that you may eat. Nevertheless, you shall not eat this that are among those who chew the cud, or of those who have clove hoofs. The camel, because it chews the cud but does not have cloven hoofs, it is unclean to you. And the rock hyrax, because it chews the cud but does not have cloven hoofs, it is unclean to you. And the hare, because it chews the cud, but does not have cloven hooves, it is unclean to you. And the swine, though it divides, and it has cloven hooves, yet it does not chew the cud, it is unclean to you. You shall not eat their flesh, and you shall not touch their carcasses. They are unclean to you. Of all that are in the water you may eat this, all that has fins and scales to it in the water, whether in the seas or in the rivers, that you may eat. But to you, all that do not have fins and scales in the seas or in the rivers, all that move in the water, or anything living which is in the water, they are an abomination. And they shall be an abomination, detestable. And you shall not eat their flesh, and you shall regard their carcasses as an abomination. All that whatever does not have fins or scales in the water, that shall be an abomination to you. And you shall regard these as an abomination among the birds. They shall not be eaten. They are an abomination. The eagle, and the vulture, and the buzzard, and the kite, and the falcon after its kind, every raven after its kind, and the ostrich, and the short-eared owl, and the seagull, and the hawk after its kind, and the little owl, and the fish owl, and the screech owl, and the white owl, and the jackdaw, and the carrion vulture, and the stork, the heron after its kind, and the hoopoe, and the bat. All flying insects that creep going on all four legs are an abomination, detestable to you. Yet this you may eat of all flying insect creature that creeps on all four legs, those with which have jointed legs above their feet with which to leap on the earth. These of them you may eat, the locust after its kind, and the destroying locust after its kind, and the cricket after its kind, and the grasshopper after its kind. But all other flying insects which have to them 4 feet are an abomination to you. And by these you shall become unclean. Whoever touches the carcass of any of them shall be unclean until evening. And whoever carries any part of the carcass of them shall wash his clothes and be unclean until evening. The carcass of any beast which it divides the foot, but not cloven-hooved, or does not chew the cud, is unclean to you. All who touch it shall be unclean. And whatever goes on its paws, among all kinds of beasts that go on all 4 legs, those are unclean to you. All who touches any such carcass shall be unclean until evening. And whoever carries any such carcass shall wash his clothes and be unclean until evening. They are unclean to you. And this shall be unclean to you among the creeping things that creeps on the earth, the mole, and the mouse, and the large lizard after its kind, and the gecko, and the monitor lizard, and the sand reptile, and the sand lizard, and the chameleon. These are unclean to you among all that creep. All who touches them when they are dead shall be unclean until evening. And anything on which any of them falls when they are dead shall be unclean, whether it is any item of wood, or clothing, or skin, or sack, all in which work is done with its item, it must be put in the water, and it shall be unclean, and you shall break it until evening. Then it shall be clean. And any earthen vessel into which any of them falls into, all whatsoever is in it, shall be unclean, and you shall break the vessel. Any of the food which may be eaten, on which water comes, shall be unclean, and any liquid which may be drunk in every vessel shall become unclean. Moreover, all on which part of their carcass may fall becomes unclean. An oven or a stove shall be smashed. They are unclean, and shall continue as unclean to you. Nevertheless, a spring or a cistern collecting water shall be clean, though the one who touches their carcass shall be unclean. And if a part of their carcass falls on any seed for sowing, which is to be sown, it is clean. But if water is put on the seed and the part of their carcasses fall on it, it is unclean to you. And if one of the animals dies which you have for food, the one who touches its carcass becomes unclean until evening. He too, who eats some of its carcass, shall wash his clothes and be unclean until evening. And the one who picks up its carcass shall wash his clothes and be unclean until evening. And every creeping thing that creeps on the earth shall be an abomination. It shall not be eaten. All that crawls on its belly, and all that goes on all 4 legs, or all who has many feet among all creeping things that creep on the earth, these you shall not eat, for they are an abomination. Do not make yourselves abominations through any of the swarming creeping things that swarm, and you shall not make yourselves unclean with them, so that you become unclean. For I am Yehovah, your God. Therefore you shall consecrate yourselves, and you shall be holy, for I am holy. And neither shall you defile yourselves with any creeping thing that creeps on the earth. For I am Yehovah, the one bringing you up out of the land of Egypt, to be your Elohim. Therefore you shall be holy, for I am holy. This is the Torah of the beasts and the birds and all living creature that move in the waters and all the creatures that creep on the earth, to distinguish between the unclean and the clean, and between the beast that can be eaten and the beast that may not be eaten. Tazria. And Yehovah spoke to Moshe, saying, Speak to the sons of Israel, saying, If a woman has conceived and borne a male child, then she shall be unclean 7 days, as in the days of her customary impurity she shall be unclean. And on the 8th day the flesh of his foreskin shall be circumcised. Then she shall continue 33 days in the blood of her purification. She shall not touch any holy thing, nor come into the holy place until the days of her purification are fulfilled. But if she bears a female child, then she shall be unclean 2 weeks, as in her customary impurity, and 66 days she shall continue in the blood of her purification. And when the days of her purification are fulfilled, whether for a son or a daughter, she shall bring a lamb of the first year as a burnt offering, and a young pigeon or a turtle dove as a sin offering, to the door of the tabernacle of meeting to the priest. And he shall offer it before Yehovah, and make atonement for her, and she shall be clean from the flow of her blood. This is the Torah for her who has borne a male or a female, and if her hand is not able to bring a lamb, then she may bring 2 turtle doves or 2 young pigeons, one as a burnt offering, and one as a sin offering. And the priest shall make atonement for her, and she will be clean. And Yehovah spoke to Moshe and Aaron, saying, When a man has a swelling on the skin of his body, or a scab or a bright spot, and it becomes on the skin of his body like a leprous sore, and he shall be brought then to Aaron the priest, or to a priest who is one of his sons. And the priest shall examine the sore on the skin of the body, and if the hair on the sore has turned white, and the sore appears to be deeper than the skin of his body, it is a leprous sore, and the priest shall examine him and pronounce him unclean. But if the bright spot is white on the skin of his body and is not deeper in sight than the skin, and its hair has not turned white, then shall the priest isolate the one who has the sore 7 days. And the priest shall examine him on the 7th day. And if indeed the sore is unchanged in his eyes, and the sore has not spread on the skin, then the priest shall isolate him a second 7 days. And the priest shall examine him on the 2nd, 7th. And if indeed the sore has faded, and the sore has not spread on the skin, then the priest shall pronounce him clean. It is only a scab. He shall wash his clothes, and he shall be clean. But if the scab should spread at all over the skin after he has been seen by the priest for his cleansing, and he shall have been seen a second time by the priest, and the priest sees that indeed the scab has spread on the skin, then the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is leprosy. When the leprous sore is on a person, Then he shall be brought to the priest. The priest shall examine him, and if indeed the swelling is white on the skin, and it has turned the hair white, and there is a spot of raw flesh in the swelling, it is an old leprosy on the skin of his body, and the priest shall pronounce him unclean, and the priest shall not isolate, for he is unclean. If the leprosy breaks out farther on the skin, and the leprosy covers all the skin of the person who has the sore, from his head even to his feet, as far as the priest can see, then the priest shall look and behold. If the leprosy has covered his entire body, he shall pronounce the one who has the sore clean. It has all turned white, and he is clean. But when raw flesh appears on him, he shall be unclean. The priest shall look at the raw flesh, and he shall pronounce him unclean. The raw flesh is unclean. It is raw flesh, and he shall pronounce him unclean. The raw flesh is unclean. It is leprosy. Or if the raw flesh turns back and it changed to white, then he shall come to the priest, and the priest shall look at him, and behold, if the infected area has turned white, the priest shall pronounce the sore clean. He is clean. And when the body develops a boil in the skin, and it is healed, and there comes a white swelling in the place of the boil, or a white bright spot, or reddish, then it shall be shown to the priest. And if the priest sees it is indeed, it appears deeper than the skin, and its hair has turned white, the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is a leprous sore of the boil that has broken out. But if the priest examines it, and indeed there are no white hairs in it, and it is not deeper than the skin, and it has faded, then the priest shall isolate him 7 days. And if it should spread at all over the skin, then the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is a leprous sore. But if the bright spot stays in one place, and the scar of the boil has not spread, the priest shall pronounce him clean. Or if the body sustains in its skin a burn by fire, and the raw flesh of the burn becomes a bright spot, reddish white or white, then the priest shall look at it. And if the hair in the bright spot has turned white, and it appears to be deeper than the skin, it is leprosy. It has broken out in the burn. Therefore the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is an infection of leprosy. But if the priest looks at it, and indeed there is no white hair in the bright spot, and it is not deeper than the skin, but it is dim, then the priest shall isolate him 7 days, and the priest shall examine him on the 7th day. If it has spread at all over the skin, then the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is a leprous sore. But if the bright spot stays in one place, and has not spread on the skin, but it has faded, it is a swelling from the burn, and the priest shall pronounce him clean, for it is a scar of the burn. And if a man or a woman has a sore in him on the head or beard, then the priest shall examine the sore. And indeed, if it appears deeper than the skin, and there is in it thin yellow hair, then the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is a scaly leprosy of the head or beard. But if the priest examines the scaly sore, and indeed it does not appear deeper than the skin, and there is no black hair in it, then the priest shall isolate the one who has the scale 7 days. And the priest shall examine the sore on the 7th day, and if indeed the scale has not spread, and there is no yellow hair in it, and the scale does not appear deeper than the skin, then he shall shave himself. But he shall not shave the scale, and the priest shall isolate the one who has the scale a second 7 days. And the priest shall examine the scale on the 7th day, and if indeed the scale has not spread over the skin and does not appear deeper than the skin, then the priest shall pronounce him clean, and he shall wash his clothes and be clean. But if the scale has spread at all after the cleansing, then the priest shall examine him, and indeed, if the scale has spread over the skin, the priest need not look for yellow hair. He is unclean. If in his sight the scale has remained, however, and black hair has grown in it, the scale has healed, and he is clean, and the priest shall pronounce him clean. And if a man or a woman has bright spots on the skin of the body, bright spots specifically white, then the priest shall look, and if indeed the bright spots on the skin of the body are dull white, and it grows on the skin, he is clean. And as for the man whose hair has fallen from his head, he is bald, he is clean. And if his head becomes bald at the front and sides, he is bald on the forehead, he is clean. But if on the bald head or the bald forehead there occurs a reddish white infection, it is leprosy breaking out on his bald head or on his bald forehead. And the priest shall look at him, and if the swelling of the infection is reddish white on his bald head or on his bald forehead, like the appearance of leprosy in the skin of the body, he is a leprous man. He is unclean. The priest must pronounce him unclean. His infection is on his head. And the leper in whom is the sore, his clothes shall be torn, and his head has become bare, and he shall cover his mustache and cry, Unclean, unclean. All the days he has the sore, he shall be unclean. He is unclean. He shall dwell alone. His dwelling shall be outside the camp. And if a garment that has a leprous plague in it, whether it is a garment of woolen or linen garment, whether it is in the warp or woof or wool of linen, whether in leather or in anything made of leather, and if the plague is greenish or reddish white in the garment or in the leather, whether in the warp or in the woof or in anything made of leather, it is a leprous plague, and shall be shown to the priest. And the priest shall examine that which has the plague, and isolate the plague 7 days. And he shall examine the plague on the 7th day. And if the plague in the garment, whether in the warp, or in the woof, or in the leather, or in anything made of leather, the plague is an active leprosy. It is unclean. Therefore he shall burn that garment, whether warp, or woof, or in wool, or in linen, or anything leather in which is the plague, for it is an active leprosy. The garment shall be burned in the fire. But if when the priest examines, and indeed the plague has not spread in the garment, either in the warp, or in the woof, or in anything made of leather, then the priest shall command that they wash the thing in which is in the plague, and he shall isolate it a second 7 days. And after it has been washed, the priest shall examine the plague, and if indeed the plague has not changed its color, and though the plague has not spread, it is unclean, and you shall burn it in the fire. It continues eating away, whether the damage is inside or outside. And if the priest shall examine it, and indeed the plague has faded after the washing, then he shall tear it out of the garment. Or whether out of the leather or out of the warp or out of the woof. But if it appears again in the garment, either in the warp or in the woof, or in anything made of leather, it is the plague spreading. You shall burn the plague within it with fire. And if the garment, either warp or woof, or anything that is of leather, you shall wash. And if the plague has disappeared from it, then it shall be washed a second time, and shall be clean. This is the Torah of the leprous plague in a garment of wool or linen, either in the warp or woof, or in anything made of leather, to pronounce it clean, or to pronounce it unclean. Metzorah. And Yehovah spoke to Moshe, saying, Speak to the sons of Israel, saying, This shall be the Torah of the leper for the day of his cleansing. And he shall be brought to the priest, and the priest shall go out of the camp, and the priest shall examine him. And if indeed the leprosy in the leper is healed, then the priest shall command him who is to be cleansed to take 2 living clean birds, and cedar wood, and scarlet, and hyssop, and the priest shall command that one bird be killed in one earthen vessel over running water. And as for the living bird, he shall take it, and the cedar wood, and the scarlet yarn, and the hyssop, and dip them, and the living bird, in the blood of the bird that was slaughtered over the running water. And he shall sprinkle it on him who is to be cleansed from the leprosy 7 times, and shall pronounce him clean, and shall let the living bird loose in the open field. And he who is to be cleansed shall wash his clothes, and shave off all his hair, and wash himself in the water, that he may be clean. And after that he shall come into the camp, and shall stay outside his tent 7 days. But on the 7th day he shall shave all the hair off his head, and his beard, and his eyebrows, and he shall shave off all his hair, and he shall wash his clothes, and wash his body in water, and he shall be clean. And on the 8th day he shall take 2 male lambs without blemish, and 1 ewe lamb of the first year without blemish, and 3/10 of an ephah of fine flour mixed with oil as a grain offering, and 1 log of oil. And the priest who makes him clean, and the man who is to be made clean, shall present those things before Yehovah at the door of the tabernacle of meeting. And the priest shall take 1 male lamb, and offer it as a trespass offering, and the log of oil, and wave them as a wave offering before Yehovah. And he shall slaughter the lamb in the place where he kills the sin offering and the burnt offering, in the holy place. For the trespass offering is as the sin offering, so it is most holy to the priest. And the priest shall take some of the blood of the trespass offering, and the priest shall put it on the tip of the right ear of him who is to be cleansed, and on his right thumb, and on the big toe of his right foot. And the priest shall take some of the log of oil, and pour it into the palm of his own left hand. And the priest shall dip his right finger in the oil that is in his left hand, and shall sprinkle some of the oil with his fingers 7 times before Yehovah. And of the rest of the oil that is in his hand, the priest shall put some of on the tip of the right ear of him who is to be cleansed, and on the thumb of his right hand, and on the big toe of his right foot, on the blood of the trespass offering. And the rest of the oil that is in the hand of the priest, he shall put on the head of him who is to be cleansed. So the priest shall make atonement for him before Yehovah. And the priest shall offer the sin offering, and make atonement for him who is to be cleansed from his uncleanness. And afterward he shall slaughter the burnt offering. And the priest shall offer the burnt offering and the grain offering on the altar. So shall the priest make atonement for him, and he shall be clean. But if he is poor, and his means cannot reach, then he shall take one male lamb as a trespass offering to be waved to make atonement for him, and a tenth of an ephah of fine flour mixed with oil as a grain offering, and a log of oil, and 2 turtle doves, or 2 young pigeons, such as are inside his means. And one shall be as a sin offering, and one as a burnt offering. And he shall bring them on the 8th day for his cleansing to the priest to the door of the tabernacle of meeting before YHWH. And the priest shall take the lamb of the trespass offering and the log of oil, and the priest shall wave them as a wave offering before YHWH. And he shall slaughter the lamb of the trespass offering, and the priest shall take some of the blood of the trespass offering, and put it on the tip of the right ear of him who is to be cleansed, and on the thumb of his right hand, and on the big toe of his right foot. And the priest shall pour some of the oil into the palm of his own left hand, and the priest shall sprinkle with his right finger some of the oil that is in his left hand 7 times before YHWH. And the priest shall put some of the oil that is in his hand on the tip of the right ear of him who is to be cleansed, and on the thumb of the right hand, and the big toe of his right foot, on the place of the blood of the trespass offering. And the rest of the oil that is in the hand of the priest, he shall put on the head of him who is to be cleansed, to make atonement before him, before YHWH. And he shall offer one of the turtle doves, or of the young pigeons, such as are within his means, such as his hand is able to get such, the one as a sin offering, and the one as a burnt offering with the grain offering. And the priest shall make atonement for him who is to be cleansed before YHWH. This is the Torah for one who had a leprous sore, whose means are limited for the usual cleansing. And YHWH spoke to Moshe and Aaron, saying, When you have come into the land of Canaan, which I give you as a possession, and I put the leprous plague in a house in the land of your possession, and the one whom is the house comes and tells the priest, saying, It seems to me that there is some plague in the house. And the priest shall command that they empty the house before the priest goes to examine the plague, so that all that is in the house need not become unclean. And afterward the priest shall go in to look at the house. And he shall examine the plague. And if indeed the plague is on the walls of the house with ingrained streaks, greenish or reddish white, and which appear to be deep in the wall, then the priest shall go out of the house to the door of the house, and shut up the house 7 days. And the priest shall come again on the 7th day, and look. And if indeed the plague has spread on the walls of the house, then the priest shall command that they take away the stones which the plague is in, and they shall cast them outside the city into an unclean place. And he shall cause the house to be scraped inside all around, and they shall pour out the dust that they scrape off outside the city in an unclean place. And they shall take other stones and put them in the place of those stones. And he shall take other mortar and plaster the house. And if the plague comes back and breaks out in the house after he has taken away the stones, and after he has scraped the house, and after it is plastered, then the priest shall come and look. And if indeed the plague has spread in the house, it is an active leprosy in the house. It is unclean. And he shall break down the house, its stones and its timber, and all the plaster of the house. and he shall carry them outside the city to an unclean place. Moreover, he who goes into the house at all while it is shut up shall be unclean until evening. And he who lies down in the house shall wash his clothes. And he who eats in the house shall wash his clothes. But if the priest shall come and enter and examines it, and indeed the plague has not spread in the house after the house was plastered, the priest shall then pronounce the house clean, because the plague is healed. And he shall take the 2 birds and cedar wood and scarlet and hyssop to cleanse the house, and he shall slaughter one of the birds in an earthen vessel over running water. And he shall take the cedar wood and hyssop and scarlet yarn and the living bird, and dip them in the blood of the slain bird in the running water, and sprinkle the house 7 times. And he shall cleanse the house with the blood of the bird and the running water, along with the living bird, the cedar wood, the hyssop, and the scarlet yarn. And he shall let the living bird go free outside the city into the open field. And he shall make atonement for the house, and it will be clean. This is the Torah for any leprous sore and scale, for the leprosy of a garment and of a house, for a swelling and a scab and bright spot, to teach when it is unclean and when it is clean. This is the Torah of leprosy. And Jehovah spoke to Moses and Aaron, saying, Speak to the sons of Israel, and say to them, When any man has a discharge from his body, his discharge is unclean. And this shall be his uncleanness in the regard to his discharge. It is his uncleanness, whether his body allows its discharge to flow, or whether his body obstructs its discharge. Every bed on which he who has the discharge lies is unclean, and everything on which he sits shall be unclean. And whoever touches his bed shall wash his clothes and bathe in water, and be unclean until evening. And whoever sits on the thing on which the man with the discharge has been sitting shall wash his clothes and bathe in water, and be unclean until evening. Also, whoever touches the man with the discharge shall wash his clothes and bathe in water, and be unclean until evening. Or if the man with the discharge spits on one who is clean, he too shall wash his clothes and bathe in water, and be unclean until evening. Every saddle on which the man with the discharge rides becomes unclean. Whoever then touches any of the things with which under him shall be unclean until evening, and the one who carries them shall wash his clothes and bathe in water, and be unclean until evening. Likewise, whomever the man with the discharge touches without having rinsed his hands in water shall wash his clothes and bathe in water, and be unclean until evening. However, an earthenware vessel which the man with the discharge touches shall be broken, and every wooden vessel shall be washed in water. And when the man with the discharge becomes cleansed from his discharge, then he shall count off for himself 7 days for his cleansing. He shall then wash his clothes and bathe his body in running water, and will become clean. And on the 8th day he shall take for himself 2 turtle doves and 2 young pigeons, and come before Jehovah to the doorway of the tent of meeting, and give them to the priest. And the priest shall offer them, one as a sin offering, and the other as a burnt offering. And the priest shall make atonement on his behalf for Jehovah because of his discharge. And if any man has an emission from copulation of semen, then he shall wash all his body in water, and be unclean until evening. And any garment and any leather on which there is copulation of semen, it shall be washed with water, and be unclean until evening. And when a woman with whom a man lies with, and there is an emission of semen, they shall bathe in water, and be unclean until evening. And if a woman has a discharge, if her discharge is consisting of blood from her body, she shall be set apart 7 days, and whoever touches her shall be unclean until evening. And everything that she lies on during her impurity shall be unclean, and everything that she sits on shall be unclean. And whoever touches her bed shall wash his clothes, and bathe in water, and be unclean until evening. Whether it be on the bed or on the thing on which she is sitting, when he touches it, he shall be unclean until evening. If a man actually sleeps with her, so that her menstrual impurity is on him, he shall be unclean 7 days, and every bed on which he lies shall be unclean. And if a woman has a discharge of her blood for many days, not at the time of her menstrual impurity, or if she has a discharge beyond that period, for all the days of her impure discharge she shall continue as though in her menstrual impurity. She is unclean. Any bed on which she lies on the days of her discharge shall be to her like her bed at menstruation, and every object on which she sits shall be unclean, like her uncleanness at that time. Likewise, whoever touches them shall be unclean, and shall wash his clothes, and bathe in water, and be unclean until evening. When she becomes cleansed from her discharge, she shall count off for herself 7 days, and afterward she will be clean. And on the 8th day she shall take for herself 2 turtle doves, or 2 young pigeons, and bring them to the priest to the door of the tabernacle of meeting. And the priest shall offer the one as a sin offering, and the other as a burnt offering. And the priest shall make atonement on her behalf before YHWH because of her impure discharge. Thus you shall separate the sons of Israel from their uncleanness, lest they die in their uncleanness, when they defile my tabernacle that is among them. This is the Torah for the one who has a discharge, and for him who has seminal emission, so that he is unclean by it, and for the woman who is ill because of menstrual impurity, or for the one who has a discharge, whether a male or a female, or a man who sleeps with an unclean woman. And Jehovah spoke to Moshe after the death of the 2 sons of Aaron, when they offered profane fire before Jehovah, and died. And Jehovah said to Moshe, Tell unto Aaron your brother to not come at just any time into the holy place inside the veil before the face of the mercy seat, which is on the ark, lest he die. For I will appear in the cloud above the mercy seat. In this manner Aaron shall come into the holy place, with the blood of a young bull as a sin offering, and of a ram as a burnt offering. And he shall put on the holy linen tunic, and shall have the linen trousers on his body, and he shall be girded with the linen sash, and he shall be attired with the linen turban. Those are holy garments. And he shall wash his body in water, and put them on. And from the congregation of the sons of Israel he shall take 2 kids of the goats as a sin offering, and 1 ram as a burnt offering. And Aaron shall offer the bull as a sin offering, which is for himself, and make atonement for himself and his household. And he shall take the 2 goats, and present them before Jehovah at the door of the tabernacle of meeting. And Aaron shall cast lots for the 2 goats, 1 lot for Jehovah, and 1 lot for the scapegoat, Azazel. And Aaron shall bring the goat which fell the lot of Jehovah, and offer it as a sin offering. But the goat which fell on the lot, to be the scapegoat, shall be presented alive before Yehovah to make atonement upon it, and let it go as the scapegoat into the wilderness. And Aaron shall bring the bull of the sin offering, which is for himself, and make atonement for himself and for his house, and shall kill the bull as the sin offering, which is for himself. And he shall take a censer full of burning coals from the fire of the altar before Yehovah, with his hands filled with sweet incense, beaten fine, and shall bring it inside the veil. And he shall put the incense on the fire before Yehovah, that the cloud of incense may cover the mercy seat that is on the testimony, that he may not die. And he shall take some of the blood of the bull and sprinkle it with his finger on the face of the mercy seat, on the east side. And before the mercy seat he shall sprinkle 7 times some of the blood with his finger. And he shall slaughter the goat of the sin offering, which is for the people, and bring its blood inside the inner veil, and do with that blood as he did with the blood of the bull, and sprinkle it on the mercy seat and before the mercy seat. So he shall make atonement for the holy place because of the uncleanness of the sons of Israel, and because of their transgressions for all their sins. So he shall do for the tabernacle of meeting, which remains among them in the midst of their uncleanness. And there shall be no man in the tabernacle of meeting when he goes in to make atonement in the holy place, until he comes out, that he may make atonement for himself, for his household, and for all the assembly of Israel. And he shall go out to the altar that is before Yehovah, and make atonement for it, and shall take some of the blood of the bull and some of the blood of the goat, and put it on the horns of the altar all around. And he shall sprinkle some of the blood on it with his finger 7 times, and cleanse it, and consecrate it from the uncleanness of the sons of Israel. And when he has made an end of atoning for the holy place, and the tabernacle of meeting, and the altar, he shall bring the live goat. And Aaron shall lay his 2 hands on the head of the live goat, and confess over it all the iniquities of the sons of Israel, and all their transgressions concerning all their sins, and putting them on the head of the goat. And he shall send it away by the hand of a suitable man into the wilderness, and the goat shall bear on itself all their iniquities to an uninhabited land, and he shall release the goat in the wilderness. And Aaron shall come into the tabernacle of meeting, and shall take off the linen garments which he put on when he went into the holy place, and shall leave them there. And he shall wash his body with water in a holy place, and put on his garments, and come out, and offer his burnt offering and the burnt offering of the people, and make atonement for himself and for the people. And he shall burn the fat of the sin offering on the altar. And he who released the goat as the scapegoat shall wash his clothes and bathe his body in water, and afterward he may come into the camp. And the bull of the sin offering and the goat for the sin offering, whose blood was brought in to make atonement in the holy place, shall be carried outside the camp, and they shall burn their skins and their flesh and their offal in the fire. And he who burns them shall wash his clothes, and bathe his body in water, and afterward he may come into the camp. And this shall be for you a statute forever in the 7th month, on the 10th day of the month. And you shall afflict your souls, and do no work at all, whether a native of your country or a stranger who dwells among you. For on this day the priest shall make atonement for you, to cleanse you from all your sins before Yehovah, that you may be clean. It is a Sabbath of solemn rest for you, and you shall afflict your souls. It is a statute forever. And the priest who is anointed and consecrated to minister as priest in his father's place shall make atonement, and shall put on the linen garments, the holy linen garments. And he shall make atonement for the holy sanctuary, and for the tabernacle of meeting, and for the altar, and make atonement for the priests, and for all the people of the assembly he shall make atonement. And this shall be for you an everlasting statute, to make atonement for the sons of Israel. for all their sins once in the year. And he did as Jehovah commanded Moshe. And Jehovah spoke to Moshe, saying, Speak to Aaron and to his sons, and to all the sons of Israel, and to them, this is the thing which Jehovah has commanded, saying, Any man from the house of Israel that kills an ox or lamb or goat in the camp, or that kills it out of the camp, and has not brought it to the doorway of the tent of meeting, to present it as an offering to Jehovah in front of the tabernacle of Jehovah, bloodshed is to be counted against that person. To him who has shed blood, that man shall be cut off from among his people, to the end that the children of Israel may bring their sacrifices that they offer in the open field, and even that they may bring them to Jehovah unto the door of the tent of meeting, unto the priest, and to offer peace offerings to Jehovah. And the priest shall sprinkle the blood on the altar of Jehovah at the door of the tent of the meeting, and burn the fat for a sweet aroma to Jehovah. They shall not offer their sacrifices any more to the goat demons, whom they have gone whoring after. This shall be a statute forever to them throughout their generations, and unto them you shall say, Any man from the house of Israel and of the house of the strangers that sojourn among you, that offers a burnt offering or sacrifice and unto the door of the tent of the meeting, and does not bring it to offer it to Jehovah, then even that man shall be cut off from his people. And any man from the house of Israel and of the house of the strangers that sojourn among you, that eats any manner of blood, I will set my face against that person that eats blood, and will cut him off from among his people. For the life of the soul is in the blood, and I have given to you on the altar to make atonement for your souls. For the blood is the reason of the life, by which makes atonement. Therefore I said to the sons of Israel, No person among you may eat blood, nor may any stranger who sojourns among you eat blood. And when any man from the sons of Israel and of the strangers that sojourn among you that hunts, catches any beasts or birds that may be eaten, then he will pour out the blood and cover it with dust. For the life of all flesh is the blood. This is the soul. Therefore I said to the sons of Israel, All the blood of flesh you shall not eat, for all the blood is life for the flesh. He who ever eats it shall be cut off. And every soul that eats that which died or that which was torn, one of your own country or a stranger, he shall wash his clothes and bathe in water and be unclean until evening. Then he shall be clean. But if he not wash, nor bathe his flesh, then he shall bear his iniquity. And Jehovah spoke to Moshe, saying, Speak unto the sons of Israel, and say unto them, I am Jehovah your Elohim. After the doings of the land of Egypt in which you dwelled in, you shall not do, nor after the doings of the land of Canaan that I am taking you into, you shall not do. And neither shall you walk in their statutes. You shall do my judgments, and keep my statute to walk in them. I am Jehovah, your Elohim. And you shall keep my statutes and my judgments, that if Ha'adam shall do them, then he shall live by them. I am Jehovah. Any man shall not approach flesh that is near to him, to uncover their nakedness. I am Jehovah. The nakedness of your father or the nakedness of your mother do not uncover. She is your mother. You shall not uncover her nakedness. The nakedness of the wife of your father do not uncover. It is the nakedness of your father. The nakedness of your sister, the daughter of your father, or the daughter of your mother, whether she be born at home or born abroad, do not uncover their nakedness. The nakedness of the daughter of your son of your daughter do not uncover, for theirs is even your own nakedness. And the nakedness of the daughter of the wife of your father, begotten of your father, Do not uncover her nakedness. She is your sister. The nakedness of the sister of your father do not uncover. She is of your father, a near kinswoman. The nakedness of the sister of your mother do not uncover, for she is a near kinswoman of your mother. Do not uncover the nakedness of the brother of your father, his wife. Do not approach. She is your aunt. Do not uncover the nakedness of your daughter-in-law. She is wife of your son. Do not uncover her nakedness. The nakedness of the wife of your brother do not uncover. It is the nakedness of your brother. The nakedness of a woman and her daughter you shall not uncover. Daughter of son or daughter of her daughter, you shall take neither to uncover her nakedness. They are near kinswoman. It is wickedness. Neither shall you take a sister of a wife to mistreat her, to uncover her nakedness while she lives. And you shall not approach a woman to uncover her nakedness during her menstrual impurity. And with the wife of your neighbor you shall not lie carnally, to be defiled, sowing seed, to be defiled with her. And any of your offspring do not offer to Molech, neither shall you profane the name of your Elohim. I am YHWH. You shall not lie with a male as with a woman. It is an abomination. You shall not lie with any beast to be defiled with it. Neither shall any woman stand before a beast to mate. It is perversion. You shall not be defiled in any of these things. For by all these, the nations that I cast out before you are defiled, and the land is defiled. Therefore I do visit the iniquity on it, and the land itself vomits out its inhabitants. You shall keep my statutes and my judgment, and do not commit all manner of these abominations, neither any of your own nation, nor any stranger that sojourns among you. For all these abominations have been done who were of the land before you, and the land is defiled, so that the land will not vomit you out, should you defile it, as it has vomited out the nation which was before you. For anyone who shall commit any of these abominations shall be cut off, even the souls that commit from among their people. You shall keep my charge, that you not practice abominable customs that were committed before you, and not become unclean in them. I am YHWH, your Elohim.
The steadfast love of Jehovah never ceases. His mercies never come to an end. They are new every morning, new every morning. Great is thy faithfulness, O Yah. Great is thy faithfulness. This book of the law shall not depart from your mouth, but you shall meditate on it day and night, so that you may be careful to do according to all that is written in it. For then you will make your way prosperous, and then you will have good success. They are new every morning, new every morning. Great is thy faithfulness, O Yah. Great is thy faithfulness. Jehovah is my portion, says my soul. Therefore I have hope in him. Jehovah is good to those who wait for him, to the person who seeks him.
And Jehovah spoke to Moshe, saying, Speak unto all the congregation of the sons of Israel, and say unto them, You shall be holy, for I, Jehovah your Elohim, am holy. Every man, his mother, and his father, you shall fear and keep my Sabbaths. I am Jehovah your Elohim. Turn not unto idols, and do not make for yourselves molten gods. I am Jehovah your Elohim. And if you offer a sacrifice of peace offerings to Jehovah at your own free will, you shall offer it. The same day you offer it, it shall be eaten, or on the next day. And if any remain until the third day, it shall be burned with fire. And if any be eaten at all on the third day, it is abominable. It will not be accepted. And anyone who eats it shall bear his iniquity, because he has profaned that which is holy of Jehovah, and his soul shall be cut off from his people. When you reap the harvest of your land, do not wholly reap the corners of your field, neither the gleanings of your harvest shall you gather. And do not glean your vineyard, neither shall you gather every grape of your vineyard. You shall leave them for the poor and stranger. I am Jehovah your Elohim. You shall not steal, nor deal falsely, nor lie to one another. Do not swear falsely by my name, neither shall you profane the name of your Elohim. I am Jehovah. Do not defraud your neighbor, nor hold all night the wages of him who is hired with you until the morning. You shall not curse the deaf, nor put a stumbling block before the blind, but you shall fear your Elohim. I am Jehovah. You shall not do unrighteousness in judgment. Do not respect the person of the poor, nor honor the person of the mighty, but in righteousness you shall judge your neighbor. Do not go up and down as a talebearer among your people, nor shall you stand against the blood of your neighbor. I am Yehovah. Do not hate your brother in your heart. You shall surely reprove your neighbor, and do not allow him to sin. Do not avenge nor bear any grudge against the sons of your people, but you shall love your neighbor as yourself. I am Yehovah. You shall keep my statutes. Do not engender your livestock with a diverse kind, nor sow your field with mixed offspring, and neither wear on you a garment with a mixture of materials. And if a man has sexual relations with a woman who is a slave acquired for another man, but who has in no way been redeemed, nor given her freedom, there shall be punishment. They shall not be put to death because she was not free. He shall bring his guilt offering to Jehovah at the door of the tent of meeting, a ram, as a guilt offering. The priest also shall make atonement for him with the ram of the guilt offering before Jehovah for his sin which he has committed, and the sin which he has committed will be forgiven. When you shall come into the land and have planted all manner of trees for food, then you shall come and count the fruit as forbidden 3 years. It shall be to you as uncircumcised. It shall not be eaten. And in the 4th year, thereof all the fruit shall be holy to praise Jehovah. And in the 5th year, you shall eat of the fruit, that it may yield to you the increase. I am Jehovah your Elohim. You shall not eat anything with blood, neither practice divination, nor shall you use enchantment. You shall not round the corners of your heads, nor shall you mark the corners of your beard, for any cuttings for the dead you shall not make in your body, nor any marks shall you print in it. I am Jehovah. Do not profane your daughter by making her a prostitute, lest the land fall to prostitution, and the land become full of wickedness. You shall keep my Sabbaths, and reverence my sanctuary. I am Jehovah. Have no regard after those who have familiar spirits, and to wizards, neither seek them to be defiled. I am Jehovah your Elohim. Before the gray head you shall rise up, and honor the face of the old man, and fear your Elohim. I am YHWH. And if a stranger sojourns in your land, do not mistreat him. The stranger that dwells with you shall be to you as the native among you, and you shall love him as yourself, for you are strangers in the land of Egypt. I am YHWH your Elohim. You shall do no unrighteousness in judgment, in measurement of weight or of capacity. Just balances, just weights, just an ephah, just a hin, you shall have to you. I am YHWH your Elohim, who brought you out of the land of Egypt. You shall observe my statutes and all my judgments, and do them. I am YHWH. And YHWH spoke to Moshe, saying, Unto the sons of Israel you shall say, Any man from the sons of Israel and of the children of the strangers that sojourn in Israel, who gives of his offspring to Molech, he shall surely be put to death. People of the land shall stone him with stones. And I will set my face against that man, and will cut him from among his people, because he has given of his offspring to Molech. And to that end is to defile my sanctuary and profane my holy name. And if the people of the land should ever disregard that man when he gives any of his children to Molech, so as to not put him to death, then I myself will set my face against that man and against his family, and I will cut off from among their people both him and all those who play the harlot with him, by playing the harlot with Molech. And the soul that turns after such as have familiar spirits and after wizards, to play after them, I will set my face against them, that person, and will cut him off from among his people. Sanctify yourselves, and you be holy, for I am YHWH your Elohim. You shall keep my statutes and do them. I am YHWH who sanctifies you. For any man who curses his father or his mother shall surely be put to death. He has cursed his father or his mother, his blood is on him. And the man with another man's wife, one who commits adultery with his friend's wife, the adulterer and the adulteress must be put to death. A man who sleeps with his father's wife, he has uncovered his father's nakedness. Both of them must be put to death. They have brought their own deaths upon themselves. And if a man lies with his daughter-in-law, both shall surely be put to death. They have worked perversion. Their blood is on them. And if a man with a man, as those who lie with a woman, both have committed an abomination, they shall surely be put to death. Their blood is on them. And if a man takes a wife and her mother, it is wickedness. They and he shall be burned with fire, that there not be wickedness in your midst. And if a man lies copulating with an animal, he shall surely be put to death, and you shall slay the beast. And if a woman approaches unto any beast to mate with, you shall kill the woman and the beast. They shall surely be put to death. Their blood is on them. And if a man shall take his sister, daughter of his father or daughter of his mother, and see her nakedness, and she see his nakedness, it is a wicked thing, and they shall be cut off in the sight of the sons of their people. He has uncovered the nakedness of his sister, he shall bear his iniquity. And if a man shall lie with a woman having her menstrual, and shall uncover her nakedness, he has discovered her fountain, and she has uncovered the fountain of her blood. Both shall be cut off from among their people. And the nakedness of the sister of your mother, nor sister of your father, do not uncover, for he uncovers his near kin, and their iniquity they shall bear. And if a man shall lie with his uncle's wife, the nakedness of his uncle, and they shall bear their sin. They shall die childless. And if a man shall take the wife of his brother, it is an unclean thing. The nakedness of his brother has been uncovered. They shall be childless. And you shall keep all my statutes and all my judgments, and do them, that the land not vomit you out, that I bring you there to dwell in. And do not walk in the manners of the nations that I cast out before you. For all these things they committed, and therefore I abhorred them. But I have said to you, you shall inherit their land, and I will give it to you to possess, a land that flows with milk and honey. I am Yehovah your Elohim, who has separated you from other people. And you shall distinguish between clean beasts and unclean, and between unclean birds and clean. And you shall not be for yourselves by animal or by birds or by anything that creeps on the ground that I have separated for you as unclean. You are holy to me, for I, Yehovah, am holy, and I have severed you from other people, that you should be unto me. A man or a woman who has in him a familiar spirit, or that is a wizard, shall surely be put to death. They shall stone him with stones. Their blood is on them. And Jehovah spoke to Moshe, saying, Speak to the priests, the sons of Aaron, and say to them, None shall defile himself for the dead among his people, except for his relatives who are near to him, his mother and his father, and his son and his daughter, and his brother and his virgin sister who is near to him, who has had no husband for her, he may defile himself. Otherwise he shall not defile himself, being a chief man among his people, to profane himself. They shall not make any bald place on their heads, and the edges of their beards, nor shall they shave, nor make any cuttings in their flesh. They shall be holy to their Elohim, and not profane the name of their Elohim. For the offerings made by fire of Yehovah, and the bread of their Elohim, they offer. Therefore they shall be holy. They shall not take for a wife who is a harlot and defiled woman, nor shall they take a woman divorced from her husband, for he is holy to Elohim. You shall consecrate him, therefore, because he offers the bread of your Elohim. He shall be holy to you, for I, Yehovah, who sanctifies you, am holy. And any daughter of the priest, if she profanes herself by playing the harlot, she profanes her father, she will be burned with fire. And he who is the high priest among his brothers, whose head the anointing oil is poured on, and who is consecrated, able to wear the garments, shall not uncover his head nor tear his clothes, nor shall he go near any dead body, nor for his father or his mother to defile himself, nor shall he go out of the sanctuary, nor profane the sanctuary of his Elohah, for the anointing oil of the consecration of his Elohim is upon him. I am Yehovah. And he shall take a wife in her virginity, a widow or a divorced woman or a defiled woman or a harlot he shall not marry, but he shall take a virgin of his own people as wife, nor shall he profane his posterity among his people, for I, Yehovah, sanctify him. And Yehovah spoke to Moshe, saying, Speak to Aaron, saying, A man of your descendants in succeeding generation who has in him any defect may not approach to offer the bread of his Elohim, for any man who has a defect in him shall not approach. A blind man, or lame, or disfigured, or deformed, or a man who has in him a broken foot, or broken hand, is a hunchback or dwarfed, or a man who has a defect in his eye, or eczema, or scab, or is a eunuch. Any man who has a defect in him of the descendants of Aaron the priest shall not come near to offer the offerings made by fire to Jehovah. He has a defect. He shall not come near to offer the bread of his Elohim. The bread of his El is the most holy, and the holy he may eat. Only he shall not come near to the veil or approach the altar because he has a defect, and lest he profane my sanctuaries. For I, Yehovah, sanctify them. And Moses told it to Aaron and his sons and to all the sons of Israel. And Yehovah spoke to Moshe, saying, Speak to Aaron and his sons, that they separate themselves from the holy things of the sons of Israel, that they dedicate to me, that they, the priest, do not profane my holy name. I am Yehovah. Say to them, Any man among all your descendants throughout your generations who approaches the holy offerings, which the sons of Israel consecrate to Jehovah, while he has an uncleanness, that person shall be cut off from my presence. I am Jehovah. No man of the descendants of Aaron who has leprosy or has a discharge may eat the holy gifts until he is clean. And one who touches anything made unclean by a corpse, or a man who has seminal emission, or a man who touches any swarming things by which he is made unclean, or a man who touches any swarming things by which he is made unclean, or touches any person by whom he is made unclean, whatever his uncleanness, a person who touches any such thing shall be unclean until evening, and shall not eat of the holy gifts until and unless he has bathed his body in water. But when the sun sets, he will be clean, and afterward he may eat of the holy gifts, for it is his food. He shall not eat an animal which dies or is torn by animals, becoming unclean by it. I am Yehovah. They shall therefore perform their duty to me, so that they do not bear sin because of it, and die by it because they profane it. I am Yehovah, who sanctifies them. And any outsider shall not eat the holy offering. One who dwells with the priest or a hired servant shall not eat the holy thing. But if the priest buys a person with his money, he may eat it. And one who is born in his house, they eat of his food. And if the daughter of the priest is married to an outsider, she may not eat the holy offerings. But if the daughter of the priest is a widow or divorced and has not child to her, and has returned to the house of her father as in her youth, she may eat the food of her father, but no outsider shall eat it. And if a man eats the unholy unintentionally, then he shall add a fifth to it, and then he shall restore a holy offering to the priest. And they shall not profane the holy offerings of the sons of Israel, which they offer to Jehovah, and bear upon them the punishment for guilt by eating their holy gifts. For I am Jehovah, who sanctifies them. And Jehovah spoke to Moshe, saying, Speak to Aaron and his sons, and to all the sons of Israel, and say to them, Any man of the house of Israel, or of the strangers in Israel, who offers his sacrifice for any of his vows, or for any of his freewill offerings, which they offer to Jehovah as a burnt offering, you shall offer of your own free will without blemish a male from the cattle, from the sheep, or from the goats. Whatever that in it has a defect, you shall not offer, for it shall be unacceptable on your behalf. And whoever offers a sacrifice of a peace offering to Jehovah, to fulfill his vow or a freewill offering, from the herd or the sheep, it must be perfect to be accepted. There shall not be any defect in it, blind or broken or maimed, or have any ulcer or eczema, or scabs, You shall not offer these that are to Yehovah, nor an offering by fire, nor make of them an on the altar of Yehovah. And either a bull or a lamb that has any limb too long or too short, you may offer as a freewill offering, but for a vow it shall not be accepted. And what is bruised, or crushed, or torn, or cut, you shall not offer to Yehovah. Nor in your land shall you make any offering of them, neither from the hand of a son of a foreigner shall you offer as the bread of your Elohim any of these, because in them is their corruption, and defects are in them. They shall not be accepted on your behalf. And Yehovah spoke to Moshe, saying, a bull or a sheep or a goat, when it is born, shall be with its mother 7 days, and from the 8th day and thereafter it shall be accepted as an offering made by fire to Yehovah. A cow or her ewe or her young, do not kill both in 1 day. And when you offer thanksgiving sacrifice to Yehovah, of your own free will, offer it. On that day it shall be eaten. You shall leave nothing of it until morning. I am Yehovah. Therefore you shall keep my commandments and perform them. I am Yehovah. And you shall not profane my holy name. I will be acknowledged as holy among the sons of Israel. I am Yehovah, who sanctifies you, the one bringing you out of the land of Egypt to be your Elohim. I am Yehovah. And Yehovah spoke to Moshe, saying, speak to the sons of Israel, and say to them, the feasts of Yehovah, which you shall proclaim, holy convocations. These are my feasts. 6 days work shall be done, but the 7th day is a Sabbath of solemn rest, a holy convocation. You shall not do any work. It is Sabbath of Yehovah in all your dwellings. These are the feasts of Yehovah, holy convocations which you shall proclaim at their appointed times. On the 14th day of the 1st month, at twilight, is the Passover to Yehovah. And on the 15th day of this month is Feast of the Unleavened Bread to Yehovah. You must eat unleavened bread 7 days. On the 1st day you shall have a holy convocation. You shall not do any customary work, but you shall make an offering by fire to Yehovah 7 days. The 7th day shall be a holy convocation. You shall not do any customary work. And Yehovah spoke to Moshe, saying, speak to the sons of Israel, and say to them, when you come into the land which I give to you, and reap its harvest, then you shall bring a sheaf, omer, of the first fruits, reshit, of your harvest to the priest. And he shall wave the sheaf before Yehovah, to be accepted on your behalf. On the day after the Sabbath, the priest shall wave it. And you shall offer on that day when you wave the sheaf, a male lamb without blemish of the 1st year, as a burnt offering to Yehovah. And its grain offering shall be 2/10 of an ephah of fine flour, mixed with oil for an offering made by fire to Yehovah, a sweet aroma. And its drink offering shall be 1/4 a hin of wine. You shall neither eat bread, nor parched grain, nor fresh grain until this same day you have brought an offering to your Elohim. It shall be a statute forever throughout your generations in all your dwellings. And you shall count for yourselves from the day after the Sabbath, from the day that you brought the sheaf of the wave offering, 7 Sabbaths shall be complete. Until the day after the 7th Sabbath, you shall number 50 days. And you shall offer a new grain offering to Yehovah. You shall bring from your dwelling 2 of wave loaves, 2/10 of an ephah of fine flour. They shall be with leaven. They shall be baked. They are the first fruits to YHWH. And you shall offer the bread with 7 lambs without blemish of the first year, and 1 bull, son of a bull, and 2 rams. They shall be a burnt offering to YHWH, and with their grain offering and their drink offerings, an offering made by fire for a sweet aroma to YHWH. And you shall sacrifice 1 kid of the goats as a sin offering, and 2 male lambs of the first year as a sacrifice of a peace offering. And the priest shall wave them with the bread of the first fruits, a wave offering before YHWH with the 2 lambs. They shall be holy to YHWH for the priest. And you shall proclaim on this same day that it is a holy convocation to you. Any customary work you shall not do. A statute forever in all your dwellings throughout your generations. And when you reap the harvest of your land, you shall not wholly reap the corners of your field when you reap, and any gleaning from your harvest, nor shall you gather, for you shall leave them for the poor, for the stranger. I am YHWH, your Elohim. And YHWH spoke to Moshe, saying, Speak to the sons of Israel, saying, In the 7th month, on the first day of the month, you shall have a Sabbath rest, Sabbaton, a memorial of blowing trumpets, teruah, shouting, a holy convocation. Any customary work you shall not do, and you shall offer an offering made by fire to YHWH. And YHWH spoke to Moshe, saying, Also, on the 10th day of this 7th month shall be the Day of Atonements, Yom HaKippurim. It shall be a holy convocation for you, and you shall afflict, humble your souls, and offer an offering made by fire to YHWH. And this same day you shall do no work, for it is the Day of Atonements, to make atonement for you before YHWH your Elohim. For any person who is not afflicted in soul on this same day shall be cut off from his people. And any person who does any work on this same day, I will destroy that person from among his people. You shall do no manner of work, a statute forever throughout your generations in all your dwellings. It is a Sabbath of Sabbaton to you, and you shall humble your souls. On day 9 of the month at evening, from evening to evening, you shall celebrate your Sabbath. And YHWH spoke to Moshe, saying, Speak to the sons of Israel, saying, The 15th day of this 7th month shall be the Feast of Tabernacles, Sukkot, for 7 days to YHWH. On the first day there shall be a holy convocation. You shall do no customary work. 7 days you shall offer an offering made by fire to YHWH. On the 8th day you shall make a holy convocation, and you shall offer an offering made by fire to YHWH. It is a sacred assembly. You shall do no customary work on it. These are the feasts of YHWH, which you shall proclaim, the holy convocations to offer an offering made by fire to YHWH, a burnt offering and a grain offering, a sacrifice and drink offerings, everything on its proper day. Besides the Sabbaths of YHWH, and besides your gifts, and besides all your vows, and besides all your freewill offerings which you give to YHWH. Also on the 15th day of the 7th month, when you have gathered in the fruit of your land, you shall keep the feast of YHWH 7 days. On the first there shall be a Sabbaton, and on the 8th a Sabbaton. And you shall take for yourselves on the first day the fruit of the beautiful trees, branches of palm trees, and the boughs of leafy trees, and willows of the brook. And you shall rejoice before YHWH your Elohim 7 days. And you shall keep it as a feast to Yehovah 7 days in the year. It is a statute forever in your generations. You shall celebrate it in the 7th month. You shall dwell in booths 7 days. All who are native of Israel shall dwell in booths, so that your generations may know that I made the sons of Israel dwell in booths when I brought them out of the land of Egypt. I am Yehovah, your Elohim. And Moses declared the feasts of Yehovah to the sons of Israel. And Jehovah spoke to Moshe, saying, Command the sons of Israel that they bring to you oil of pure pressed olives for the light, to make the lamps burn continually. Outside the veil of the testimony of the tabernacle of meeting, Aaron shall be in charge of it from evening until morning before Jehovah continually, a statute forever in your generations. He shall keep in order on the lamps of the pure gold menorah before Jehovah continually. And you shall take fine flour and bake with it thereof 12 cakes. 1 cake shall be 2/10 of an ephah. And you shall set them in 2 rows, 6 to a row, on the pure gold table before Jehovah. And you shall put pure frankincense upon each row, that it may be on the bread for a memorial portion for the bread, an offering by fire to Jehovah. Every Sabbath day he shall set it in order before Jehovah continually. It is an everlasting covenant for the sons of Israel, and it shall be for Aaron and his sons, and they shall eat it in a holy place, for it is most holy to him, from the offerings made by fire to Jehovah, his portion forever. Now, the son of an Israelite woman, whose father was an Egyptian, went out among the sons of Israel, and the Israelite woman's son and a man of Israel were fighting with each other in the camp. The son of the Israelite woman blasphemed the name and cursed, and they brought him to Moshe. And his mother's name was Shelomith, the daughter of Dibri, of the tribe of Dan. And they put him in custody, so that the command of Jehovah might be made clear to them. And Jehovah spoke to Moshe, saying, Bring forth him that has cursed outside the camp, and let all who hear him lay their hands on his head. Then let all the congregation stone him. You shall speak to the sons of Israel, saying, If anyone curses his Elohim, then he will bear his sin. And the one who blasphemes the name of Jehovah shall surely be put to death. All the congregation shall certainly stone him, the alien as well as the native. When he blasphemes the name, he shall be put to death. And if a man takes the life of any human soul, he shall surely be put to death. The one who takes the soul of an animal shall make it good. Life for life. If a man causes a blemish to his neighbor, just as he has done, so shall it be done. Breach for breach, eye for eye, tooth for tooth. As he has caused a blemish in a man, so shall it be done to him. Thus, the one who kills a beast shall make it good, but the one who kills a man shall be put to death. There shall be one judgment for you, it shall be for the stranger as well as the native. For I am Yehovah your Elohim. And Moshe spoke to the sons of Israel, that they should bring forth him that had cursed out of the camp, and stone him with stone. And the sons of Israel did as Yehovah commanded Moses. And Yehovah spoke to Moshe on Mount Sinai, saying, Speak to the sons of Israel, and say unto them, when you come into the land that I give to you, the land shall keep a Sabbath to YHWH. 6 years you shall sow your field, and 6 years you shall prune your vineyard, and gather the fruit. But in the 7th year shall be a Sabbath of rest to the land, a Sabbath for YHWH. Do not sow your field, nor prune your vineyard. Do not reap that which grows of its own accord of your harvest, and neither gather the grapes of your undressed vine. It is a year of rest to the land. And the Sabbath of the land shall be for food for you, and for your servant, and for your maid, and for your hired servant, for the stranger that sojourns with you, and for your livestock, that are the beasts in your land, thereof all the increase is to eat. And you shall number 7 Sabbaths of years, 7 years times 7. That shall be the space of the 7 Sabbaths of years to you, 49 years. Then you shall cause to sound the shofar of the Jubilee on the 10th day of the month, on the 7th month. And you shall consecrate the year, the 50th year, and proclaim liberty throughout the land to all the inhabitants. It shall be a jubilee for you, and you shall return every man unto his possession, and every man unto his family. You shall return. The 50th year shall be that jubilee for you. You shall not sow, neither reap that which grows of itself, nor gather of your undressed vine, for it is a jubilee. It shall be holy to you. You shall eat of the increase of the field. In the year of this jubilee you shall return every man unto his possession. And if you sell anything to your neighbor, or buy from the hand of your neighbor, you shall not oppress one another. According to the number of years after the Jubilee, you shall buy from your neighbor according to the number of years of the fruits he shall sell to you. In proportion to the multitude of years, you shall increase the price, and according to the fewness of years, you shall diminish the price. For it is the number of the years of the fruits he does sell to you. Therefore one does not oppress another, but you shall fear your Elohim. For I am YHWH your Elohim, and you shall do my statutes, and keep my judgments, and do them, and you shall dwell in the land in safety. And you shall yield the fruit of the land, and eat your fill, dwelling therein in safety. And if you say, what shall we eat the 7th year, if behold we shall not sow, nor gather in our increase? Then I will command my blessing upon you in the 6th year, and it will bring forth 3 years of fruit. And you shall sow the 8th year, and eat of the old fruit until the 9th year. Until the fruits come in, you shall eat of the old. And the land shall not be sold permanently, for the land is to me. For you are strangers and sojourners with me. And in all the land of your possession you shall grant a redemption of the land. If your brother becomes poor and has sold away his possession, if any of his kin can come to redeem it, then he shall redeem that which his brother sold. And if the man has no redeemer, but recovers to find sufficient means for his redemption, then he shall calculate the years since its sale, and refund the balance to the man to whom he sold it, and so return to his property. But if he has not found sufficient means to get it back for himself, then what he has sold shall remain in the hands of its purchaser until the year of the Jubilee, and it shall come out in the Jubilee, and he shall return to his property. And if a man sells his dwelling house in a walled city, then his redemption remains until the full year of its sale. A full year lasts the right. And if it is not redeemed inside the space of a full year, then the house that is in the walled city passes permanently to its purchaser throughout his generations. It does not revert in the Jubilee. The houses of the villages, however, which have no surrounding wall, shall be regarded as open fields. They shall be counted to be redeemed, that they shall go out in the Jubilee. But the cities of the Levites, for the houses of the cities is their possession, may come to pass that the Levites may redeem at any time. And if a man purchases of the Levites, then the house that was sold of his possession in the city shall go out in the Jubilee. For the houses of the Levites of the cities, they are their possession among the sons of Israel. But the field around the town of the city shall not be sold, for it is a perpetual possession to them. And if your brother becomes poor and fallen in decay of strength, then you shall relieve him with you as a stranger or a sojourner, that he may live with you. Do not take from him interest, but revere your El, that your brother may live with you. You shall not give your money at interest for increase, nor make profit on your food. I am YHWH, your Elohim, who brought you forth out of the land of Egypt, to give to you the land of Canaan, to be to you Elohim. And if your brother besides you becomes poor, and is sold to you, do not compel him to serve as a bondservant, but as a hired servant, as if he were a sojourner with you, for he shall serve you to the year of Jubilee. Then he shall depart from you, and his children with him, and shall return unto his family, and unto the possession of his fathers. He shall return. For they are my servants, whom I brought them forth out of the land of Egypt. They shall not be sold as slaves. Do not rule over them with severity, but you shall fear your Elohim. And your slaves and your bondmaids, whom you shall have for you from the nations that are around like them, you shall buy slaves and bondmaids. Moreover, also of the children of the strangers that do sojourn among them, you shall buy that of their families with you that are fathered in the land, and they shall be to you a possession. And you shall take them as an inheritance for your children after you, to inherit a possession forever. In them they shall be your slaves. But over your brothers, the sons of Israel, do not rule over one another in severity. And if the means of a stranger or of a sojourner with you becomes rich, and a brother of yours becomes poor near to him, and sells himself to a stranger who is residing with you, or to descendants of a stranger's family, then he shall have redemption right after he has been sold. One of his brothers may redeem him, or his uncle's son may redeem him, or one of his blood relatives from his family may redeem him, or if he prospers, he may redeem himself, and he shall reckon with him he who brought him from the year that he was sold to him to the year of the Jubilee, and the price of his sale shall be to the number of the years according to the time of a hired servant. It shall be with him. If yet there be many years in proportion, he shall give again the price of his redemption out of the money that he was bought. But if there remains few years to the year of the Jubilee, then he shall count to him in proportion to his years, and he shall give him again the price of his redemption. A hired servant shall be with him year by year, and he shall not rule over him with severity in your sight. And if he is not redeemed by these years, then he shall go out in the year of Jubilee, he and his children with him. For the sons of Israel are servants to me. They are my servants, whom I brought forth out of the land of Egypt. I am YHWH, your Elohim. You shall not make for yourselves idols, nor graven image, or a standing image, neither raise up any image of stone to you, neither shall you set up in your land to bow to it. For I am YHWH, your Elohim. You shall keep my Sabbaths and reverence my sanctuary. I am YHWH. If you walk in my statutes and keep my commands and do them, then I will give you rain in due season, and the land shall yield increase, and the trees of the field shall yield their fruit. Indeed, your threshing season will last for you until vintage gathering, and vintage gathering will last until sowing time, and you shall eat your bread to the full, dwelling safely in your land. And I will give shalom in the land, and you shall lie down, and none shall make you afraid. And I will rid evil beasts out of the land, and neither shall the sword go through your land. And you shall chase your enemies, and they shall fall before you by the sword. And 5 of you shall chase 100, and 100 of you shall put to flight 10,000. And your enemies shall fall before you by the sword. For I will turn my face unto you, and make you fruitful, and multiply you, and establish my covenant with you. And you shall eat the old stove long kept, because you bring forth the new. And I will set my tent among you, and my soul will not abhor you. And I will walk among you, and will be your Elohim to you, and you shall to me be my people. I am Yehovah your Elohim, who brought you forth out of the land of Egypt, that you should not be slaves to them. And I have broken the bands of your yoke, and made you walk upright. But if you do not listen to me, and do not do all these commands, and if you shall despise my statutes, or if your soul abhors my judgments, so that you will not do all my commands, but that you break my covenant, also I will do this to you. I will even appoint terror over you, consumption, and the fever that shall consume the eyes, and cause sorrow of soul. And you shall sow in vain, and your offspring will be eaten by your enemies. And I will set my face against you, and you shall be slain before your enemies, and they who hate you shall reign over you, and you shall flee when none pursues you. And if after all this you do not listen to me, then I will discipline you more for your sins 7 times. And I will break the pride of your power, and I will make your heavens as iron, and your earth as bronze. And your strength shall be spent in vain, and shall not yield your land its increase, and the trees of the land neither yield their fruits. And if you walk to me contrary, and are not willing to obey me, I will increase plagues on you 7 times, according to your sins. And I will also send wild beasts among you, to rob you of children, and destroy your livestock, and make you few in number, and your roads shall be desolate. And if by these you will not be turned to me, but will walk contrary to me, then also I myself will walk against you with hostility, and I will smite you, even I, 7 times for your sins. And I will bring on you a sword that shall avenge and execute vengeance for the covenant. When you are gathered together inside your cities, then I will send the pestilence among you, and you shall be delivered into the hand of the enemy. When I break your staff of bread, 10 women will bake your bread in one oven, and they will bring back your bread in rationed amounts, so that you will eat and not be satisfied. And if in all this you do not listen to me, but walk contrary to me, then I will walk to you with contrariness, with fury, and will chastise you, even I, 7 times for your sins. And you shall eat the flesh of your sons, and you shall eat the flesh of your daughters. And I will destroy your high places, and cut down your images, and cast your carcasses on the carcasses of your idols, and my soul shall abhor you. And I will make your cities waste and desolate, and I will not smell the savor of your sweet aromas in your sanctuaries. and therein I myself shall desolate the land, and your enemies shall be appalled at who dwells in it. And the land shall enjoy its Sabbaths all the days it lies desolate, and you are in the land of your enemies. Then the land shall rest and enjoy its Sabbaths. As long as all of it lies desolate, it shall rest, because in it did not rest on your Sabbaths when you dwelled in it. And on those who are left of you I will send a faintness into their hearts in the land of their enemies, and the sound of a leaf shaken will chase them. And they shall flee as though from a sword, and they shall fall when none pursues, and they shall fall one on another, as it were before a sword when none pursues. And you shall not have power to stand unto you before your enemies. And you shall perish among the nations, and your enemies shall eat up the land. And they who are left of you shall pine away in their iniquity in the lands of your enemy, and also in the iniquities of their fathers with them. They shall pine away. And if they shall confess their iniquity and the iniquity of their fathers in the treachery and their unfaithfulness, that they have also walked contrary to me, I also have walked against them with hostility, and have brought them into the land of their enemies. If then their uncircumcised hearts be humbled, and they then make amends for their iniquity, then I will remember my covenant with Jacob, and also my covenant with Isaac, and also my covenant with Abraham will I remember, and I will remember the land. And the land shall also be left, and the land then shall enjoy its Sabbaths, while it lies desolate without them. And they, while the land rests, will make amends for their iniquity, because, yes, even because my judgments they despised, and their souls abhorred my statutes. And yet, when for all that, when they are in the land of their enemies, I will not cast them away, neither will I abhor them to utterly destroy them, to break my covenant with them. For I am Yehovah, their Elohim. But I will remember the covenant of their ancestors, whom I brought forth out of the land of Egypt in the sight of the nations, that I might be to them Elohim. I am Yehovah. These are the statutes and the judgments and laws that Yehovah made between himself and between the children of Israel at Mount Sinai by the hand of Moshe. And Yehovah spoke unto Moshe, saying, Speak unto the sons of Israel, and say unto them, When a man shall make a special vow involving the valuation of persons to Yehovah, and your estimation shall be of the male from 20 years old and even to 60 years old, and your estimation shall be 50 shekels of silver after the shekel of the sanctuary, and if a female, your estimation, it shall be 30 shekels. And if from 5 years old even to 20 years old, then your estimation shall be for the male 20 shekels, and for the female 10 shekels. And if from a month old to even 5 years old, then your estimation shall be of the male 5 shekels of silver, and of the female your estimation shall be 3 shekels of silver. And if from 60 years and above, if a male, then your estimation shall be 15 shekels, and for the female 10 shekels. But if he be poorer than your estimation, then he shall present himself before the priest, and the priest shall value him according to after the reach of the mouth of his hands, his means, that vowed, the priest shall value. And if it be a beast that men bring out of as an offering to Jehovah, also that gives of such shall be holy to Jehovah. He shall not replace it nor exchange it, a good for a bad, or a bad for a good. Yet if he does exchange animal for animal, then both it and its substitute shall become holy. If, however, it is any unclean animal of the kind, which does not present an offering to Yehovah, then he shall place the animal before the priest, and the priest shall assess it as either good or bad. As you, the priest, assess it, so shall it be. But if he should ever redeem it, then he shall add a fifth of it to your estimation. And if a man shall sanctify part of a field of his possession to Yehovah, then your estimation shall be according to the offspring. A seed of a homer of barley is 50 shekels of silver. As if of the year of Jubilee, he shall sanctify his field according to your valuation. It shall stand. But if after the Jubilee he dedicates his field, then the priest shall reckon for him the money according to the month of the years, that even to the year of the Jubilee, and it shall be deducted from your valuation. And if any will in any way redeem the field, he who is consecrated, it shall add the fifth part of the money of your estimation to it, and it shall be assured to him. And if he does not redeem the field, or if he has sold the field to another man, it shall not be redeemed any more. When the Jubilee goes out, the field shall be holy to Yehovah, as a set apart field. Thereof shall be the possession of the priest. Or if a field that he has bought is not of the fields of his possession, a man sanctifies to Yehovah, then the priest shall reckon the amount of your estimation even to the year of the Jubilee, and he shall give your estimation in that day as a holy thing to Yehovah. In the year of Jubilee the field shall return to the one from whom it was bought, to him to whom, even the possession of the land. And all your estimation shall be after the shekel of the sanctuary. 20 gerahs shall be the shekel. Only that the firstling, born first among the animals, is for Yehovah. A man shall not sanctify it, whether ox or sheep. It is of Yehovah. And if the beast be of unclean, then he shall redeem it according to your estimation, and shall add a fifth of it thereto. Or if it is not redeemed, then it shall be sold according to your valuation. Surely any devoted thing that a man shall devote to Yehovah, of all that is to a man and beast, and of the field of his possession, shall not be sold, and not redeemed. Every devoted thing is most holy to Yehovah. All devoted, who shall be devoted of men, shall not be redeemed, but shall surely be put to death. And all the tithe of the land, of the offspring of the land, or of the fruit of the tree, is of Yehovah. It is holy to Yehovah. And if a man will at all redeem of his tithes, thereto he shall add the fifth. And concerning the tithe of the herd or the flock, all that passes under the staff, the 10th, shall be holy to Yehovah. He may not search whether it be good or bad, neither shall he change, and if he change it at all, thereof then both it and the change shall become holy. It shall not be redeemed. These are the commands that Yehovah commanded Moshe for the sons of Israel at Mount Sinai. May Jehovah bless you and keep you. May Jehovah cause his face to shine on you and be gracious to you. May Jehovah bless you and keep you. May Jehovah lift up his countenance on you and give you peace. Yivrechecha Yehovah v'yishmerecha. Yair Yehovah panav elecha v'yonecha. Yisa Yehovah panav elecha v'yasem lecha. Shalom.